I got to get my phone right. If I had a job at Ford Motor Company and I was in the union and, my union endorsed Donald Trump, knowing how he said that the tariffs was good and stuff, and then I woke up and, was facing a job loss. The first thing I vote for is to take that money from the union away and have that union person resign. This quarter Ford Motor Company reported $1 billion loss. $1 billion loss. I thought these tariffs were supposed to be so good. $1 billion. See, they finna start shutting down now. This finna be the closing of the Ford Motor Company, GM, Volkswagen gonna struggle a little bit. Nissan is reporting a loss. All these people are reporting a loss. And you have to say, how worse is gonna get? Well, I tell you. Well, they saying that our racist, old blonde drunk Marsha Blackburn is supposed to be running for Tennessee governor. That's what they say. But then they turned around and said, old Pete Hisk, what's his name? Peter Pete. I'm going to call him Peter Pete. Peter Pete says that he's going to run for governor of Tennessee. Old Pete ain't even a resident of Tennessee, but he's trying to run Tennessee. That's just like when Trump said that the mayor of D.C. needs to go ahead and give him control over D.C. so that he can go ahead and rule it the way he want to rule it. Now, at this point, I promise you, I don't believe that MAGA thinks that Trump is going to get it right. I don't believe that they believe that he's going to fix the economy. I don't believe that they think that he's the person for the choice. What we're seeing now is those who are being racist. If anybody that is saying that Trump is going to make the economy right, they racist. And this is where you need to cut ties. Because at this point, they're going to be giving cars away. They're going to have so much surplus of cars, Ford cars, that they're going to be giving them away. That's how, when the big thing was out, how Scion went out of business and all these little other companies, little car companies that came about, that was revolutionizing the way we drive, because at that time, Ford and GM was the big things of that, I told my son's car had broke down and it needed a motor. Yeah, needed a motor. And it's, he been catching lifts and stuff to going to work. And, and he said, Mama, I'm finna go ahead and take some money out of my 401k, and I'm finna go and put down on a car, reliable car. And see, this is where mama comes into play. You have to be, at a certain age, you can't be mama the disciplinary. You got to be mama the advisor. This is where I hope I'm wise when I told him. I said, son, this ain't the good time to go get a car. I said, because the tariffs and stuff, it's going to all come down. That car note probably be $1,000 or $800 at the most. I said, how much? I said, I asked him, I said, have you found a mechanic? He said, yeah, I found a mechanic. He said he worked on my sister's car. It did good and everything. I said, well, son, let me ask you a question. I said, let him work on your car. I worked on my car. I got a 20-year-old car. I worked on it. It drives just like a new car. Drives just like a new one. And I told him, I said, if you pay it back, how much is you paying back? He said, I'm paying back $66. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. Compared to if you had a car note, it'd be $800. It'd be a lot. It'd be more than a lot. So he decided to repair the car. a lot of people are going to be repairing cars, because it's cheaper to go get that expensive part than to go get a whole car note and look bling bling. So this is where wise money, and you're going to see the things being exposed. Another thing. And you're going to have to start coming together. Now, you ask, is Ford going to get any better? Well, at the current time, the tariffs that within that quarter alone was $800 million. $800 million. Now, who you think gonna pay for that if they get a car? If you notice, they ain't really advertising about cars now. Because what's the point of spending money on advertisement and talking about how pretty and gorgeous the car is, and when it gives bad gas mileage? Most SUVs don't give good gas mileage on the street. They give them more. You get better gas mileage when you on the road. Like when I'm driving on the street, a half a tank, a whole tank of gas, I gotta stop and start and stuff, and but I can drive from here and for 4 hours go see my daughter. I still got a little over half a tank. I still got it, and I could drive up there a couple of days, or about a week, and then fill it up again and come home and have that gas for at least a week and a half. $800,000. You know how many jobs can be saved with $800,000? But see, at this point now, the tariffs wasn't to save money. But you already know that. If you a smart person, a reasonable person, you would know that tariffs weren't there to save any money. It was there to bring money to Trump, because Trump been traveling to these Arabian countries not to buy gas or oil, but he's promoting Trump casinos and resorts. Now, what does that have to do with it? He's paid $200 million to fix the ballroom of the United States. See this heifer, he thinks that he's finna live there for the rest of his life, that there's finna be a home for him. He's dwelling on it. And see, he got a few of these white folks that sit here and say, well, if you want to be a dictator, that's fine with me. But see, he's not finna be there that long. See, because J.D. Vance, they know that something either physically wrong with him, mentally wrong with him, or his timing played out. Yeah. See, his time is running out. But he still think that because he's sitting at their table, and and if you don't agree with him, you get fired, then that's how that rolls. See, because now that they infiltrated the federal government, they got to come in and take over state government. That's how dictatorship starts. See, he can't just take over federal government and threaten everything and then turn around and say, okay, now, but you got these state leaders that's bucking, like Gavin Newsom and these other, yeah. And see, after he take over the states, then that's when he firing judges and stuff like that. And, Congress can only fire a judge once they get appointed. But see, he's firing judges and doing all of this stuff and because he got the money now. He's a billionaire now. Trump ain't never been a billionaire. He's always been a millionaire. But now he's a billionaire. And now that he's doing that, the next phase is coming in. Midterm elections. And how do he do that? Well, the governor race. You got governor races. You got, some local and state governments. You got those races involved, and that's how PDP come into play. They trying to infiltrate now state government. Once they infiltrate state government, that's why Project 2025 is on delay. It ain't on delay because he feels sorry for you, or he's trying to restructure things so that MAGA can come in and take over state government. And the same thing that they did with federal government, they're going to do the state government. Now, I'm going to tell you something. I get a lot of people that are coming on my page and they're saying, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. Don't be. Don't be. I don't want you to be scared. When you're scared, you panic, you do things. This is where we have to sit down and think about things, how it's going to go, how it's going to play out. Don't be scared to talk to your children about what may happen. If you lose your car, you lose your house. Don't be scared to talk to them about that. If they don't see certain foods in the refrigerator, don't let them be scared. Because if they see fear in you, they're going to get scared. Whatever that's going to happen, it will be all right. Take it from me. I done survived more setbacks than anybody I know. And I'm still here. So today, what we need to do is, first of all, I want to salute the Ford Motor Company and their union rep who talked them into, voting for that idiot and all these other companies. But I want to take the time to tell you that right now, prepare. Talk about things. Don't be so hasty to buy stuff. Not big project items. Because I guarantee you, that house you're looking for next year, it's going to be, they're going to sell it dirt cheap. You're going to be able to walk into it. Your credit bag, straighten it up a little bit. Because they're going to be able. Apartments are going to stay strong. Because they know people need a place to stay. But I'm going to tell you something. Folks finna start moving into their cars, mobile homes, all of that, because they need a place to stay. But you guys, we got to keep a level head. And we got to vote. And if you still think that voting don't count, then you lost.